I mean, seriously, why would you? Is there an actual reason? Is that a no? There's not an actual reason? Or is that yes, there is, but I don't want to say it in front of everybody, or what? Oh, that's why? Okay. Well, then we can talk at the end here, okay? I'll stop recording at the end. All right, anyway, let me clear this up for right now. I'm going to show you the next thing. All right, the next thing that we're talking about is now doing the same thing. And so, Giselle, that for you in particular, it's going to be the same thing, but using mixed numbers to do it. Now, the only thing different, all right? So we're going to do the same thing. It's just that when we're doing it this time, you don't worry about this while you're trying to change your fractions. You don't worry about the whole numbers, okay? The whole numbers are a totally separate thing for right now, okay? So Giselle, the same thing we did with the fractions before, we got to do with the fractions now, all right? So what do we have to multiply? What is the common denominator, the lowest common denominator here, Giselle? We have 2 and 6, just like before. So 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 6 is 6, 12, 18, 24. So this is just like the one we did right beforehand. So the lowest common denominator is what? There's not a 2 in both, there's not a 4 in both, but there is a 6. Oops. Sorry about that. Oh, I just lost it, didn't I? All right, well, let's try it again. So it's 3 1/2 plus 1 1/6. And so, Giselle, we have the 2 and the 6 are our, and our 6 is our numbers. And so we have 2 times 1 times 2 times 3 and times 4. And then we have 2, 4, 6, 8. Then we have 6, 12, 18, and 24. Okay, Giselle? All right, so what is our lowest common denominator then?
6.
All right, so this is already a 6 right here. This is a 6. This one needs to become a 6. So what do we multiply it by to get it to be a 6?
3.
All right, so 3 by both of those. And then it becomes, so the top one then becomes what? It's 3, 6, right? All right, so let's erase some of this stuff here. And we'll make that 1/2 now a 3/6. So now I can add my fractions and the whole numbers together. So 3 plus 1 is 4. 3, 6 plus 1, 6 is 4, 6. Now that can reduce to 4, and the 4, 6 can reduce to 2/3 because we can divide 4 by 2 and 6 by 2 and get 2/3 as my answer. All right. Does that make sense to everybody, or does anybody have any questions about it? We're going to do a couple practices here, but is that pretty clear?
Mm.
All right. All right, so let's go ahead and do some practices then. Okay, go ahead and do that one. And Giselle, you and I can talk it out while they're working it out. What is the lowest common denominator here, do you think?
4.
You think 4 is the lowest common denominator?
Mm.
So do you have something to write with there, Giselle?
Yeah.
Go ahead and write out like I had before, the 2 and the 10. You got to reduce it, Nathan.
Oh.
Got it. David's trying to do it in his head, isn't he?
Mm.
Are you trying to do it in your head? microphone.
I sent you the message.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. You got it. All right, correct, Elijah? Or Elijah? Correct, Tejas? I didn't see yours, Yuri, because it was too low. Lena, you're correct? You've got to have it a little higher. No, I meant it higher up on the screen. I couldn't see it where you had it. That's correct, Elizabeth? That's correct, Yuri?
Mr. Jones.
Yeah, hold on. That's correct, Angelica. I think I got what you were trying to do. Who was yelling my name or telling my name? Okay, yes, Nazar.
I can't find my whiteboard.
Okay. So do you have a piece of paper?
No.
I know it seems kind of strange to have paper for school, but
I don't have it in this room.
correct.
My
What's that?
this is the my other room.
Can you go get some?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. All right, Giselle. So what do you have when you're writing these numbers out?
1, 2, 4, 6.
You didn't say, you said 1?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why 1? 2 times 1 is not 1. You multiply each one by these numbers here. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, and then
And
what goes here in this one? You see where I'm doing the numbers? Okay, so what goes, so we have 2, oops. I get changed from your eraser.
8.
Okay, so 8, oops. Okay, go back. Okay, 8, and then what's next?
10.
All right. Now what about 10 times 1?
10. 20. 30. 40. 50.
Okay, so you already have a common one. What is it?
10.
Correct, Nazar.
Thank you.
Okay, so now, so which one needs to be changed to a 10? One of them's already a 10, so the other one doesn't have to be. So which fraction needs to be changed to 10? Remember, you don't worry about this part right now. You're just doing the fraction part. So how do you change the 1/2 to a 10? How do you change the 2 to a 10? Multiply by what?
5.
All right, and then the top, same thing. So what does that end up being then?
5 tenths.
All right, now add them together. So, not add them, sorry, subtract them, because it's a subtraction. So 5 tenths minus 1/10.
4 tenths.
Okay, now that can be reduced, but let's go ahead and do the other part first. Do the whole numbers. 4 minus 1 is?
4 minus 1 is 0.
4 minus 1 is 0.
I need 3.
Okay, well, 3 and 0 are close to each other. All right, so that's 3 and 4/10. Now the 4/10 can be reduced. You can divide both numbers by 2. They're even. So what did you get? 3 and what? What's 4 divided by 2?
2.
Okay, so 2. And then what's 10 divided by 2?
5.
There you go. Oops. Yep, 3 and 2/5 then is your final answer. Okay. All right, one more, guys, and then we'll go on to language, which I am a very unhappy teacher. So many of you did not do this assignment that you're supposed to do. That's okay. I guess you guys don't really like your grades, but all right, here we go. So on this one is, all right, here we go.
What are you doing? No, that's not funny. Go wake someone else up.
Who's messing with somebody?
What's this one?
All right, so there's your thing. All right, so Giselle, you have a whiteboard there or a paper? Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and do the little thing where you're trying to find the common denominator. That is incorrect, Nathan. Yes, Elizabeth, you have a question? Correct, David. So as soon as you find the common denominator, let me know, okay? That's correct, Nathan.
I
What's that?
found it.
What is it?
1, 8.
All right, that's your common denominator. So what does the 2-4 become then? That's correct, Alina. That's correct, Elijah. That's correct, whoever this is. I don't know who that is because all you have is E on your name. Okay, Tejas, yes. You need to shave, Tejas. All the hair off your head. That's correct, Yuri. So what does 2-4 become then? If it's going to be 8s? What do you have to multiply the 4 by?
2.
That's correct. Okay, and so what do you get at the top? That's correct, Nizar.
You get 4, 8.
All right, so add 1/8 to that. I don't know who me is, so I can't answer. You guys need to put your names there if you're going to cover up. You send me a message from whoever it is. I can't see your names. You're not going to give me your names. Is that you then, Yuri? You were correct then. Incorrect, Elizabeth. So Giselle, you have what? 1/8 plus 4/8 is what?
5, 8.
Okay, correct. And then what's the whole number when you add them together?
4.
Well, what's 4 plus 3? 4 plus 3 is 4, huh?
No, it's 8.
All right, it's 6, really?
I think it's 8.
4 plus 3 is 8.
7.
Thank you. Okay. I knew you knew that. All right. So who did we lose? It looks like we lost. Incorrect, Elizabeth. So when you added the 1/8 plus, what did you add for the bottom one, Elizabeth? What did you change the bottom one to? So this should have been multiplied by 2/2, which equals 4/8. So then what is 1/8 plus 4/8? But you gotta, I can't hear you because your microphone's off. Welcome back, Elijah. Welcome back.
5, 8.
That's correct, yeah. So you should have 7 5/8. When you changed it before, it looks like you just added the 1/8 plus the 2/4. You kept the 8s, and then you just added the 1 and the 2. Is that what you did the first time, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember to change both of them first so that you have it. All right. All right. So any other questions about that particular lesson? All right, so let's go to language. All right, so that's going to pop off here in a second. Should pop off there in a second. I think I left it going. Hold on a second. All right. All right, so I don't know why it's still sharing that thing because I didn't share it. Let me try it again. All right, there we go. So I see 10 of you, 2 of you left. How convenient, right? Okay, there's Ella. Who is connecting, please? Who, please? This is driving me nuts. Stop it, Yuri. Change your name properly, please. You're not the only one. Somebody else has got it now, too, and I don't know who it is. Angelica, thank you. Yuri, can you change your name, please, so that I can see it? And then Tejas also.
Mr. John.
I don't mind what Nazar did is fine, because Nazar made it his name and initials, I mean, in parentheses, so that I could at least tell who it is if I didn't see it. Yes.
Like sometimes when it says not connecting, sometimes it's actually not connecting. Sometimes it says that.
No, I understand that, but that's not what they were doing.
Oh.
It didn't say not connecting, it said connecting. Usually that's they're just putting their name in there. Andre does it all the time, except there are only 5 of them in that class, so it's easy to tell who's who. Plus, he has a picture of SpongeBob as his first picture that goes up there, and it looks just like Andre. So what can you do, right?
Nah.
All right, so language. Let me go over some things. All right, so I only have from, see who it is. So, all right. I've only gotten the personal outline, page 204, from Elizabeth, Nathan, David, and Angelica. As far as the stuff that you were supposed to do last week, and Ella had desperately begged and said that it was such a wonderful idea to do the same thing I had done last Thursday, and that was for, let me see, Elizabeth, Alina, Nathan. Who did I say? Elizabeth? Yeah, all right. And then, so on, were those particular things, where are those? What did I do with them? All right, so I have not received from Ella nor from any others, basically, anybody that turned anything in. And so it was just those people that had turned them in last week. Not one of you did anything else this week, I think, except for Schlock, and he's not even here right now. So, yes, sir, David, you were one of them that already turned them in. I'm not talking about the people that already turned them in. I'm talking about the people that I have David's, I have, what else I have? I have some others that are in the papers to be returned for next week. But in any case, so the rest of you, oh well, I guess you don't want to get that 15% grade, huh? Is that what it is? Ella, why didn't you do yours? The one that had begged so desperately to.
I sent you a picture,
When did you send it, ma'am?
like right after class.
Oh, last week?
Yeah.
On what format?
What do you mean? Like 4 messages.
On the phone, in the text?
Yeah.
All right, let me go back and look. Friday. You're right, you did. Oh, you know why? Because you didn't have your name on it. When I printed it out, but there was no name. So I do have yours. But the only problem is this. You did You did the outline, Ella, but you didn't do the notes. Yes, you did the notes. Again, that was another one you didn't have your answer on, but I did send you back the notes. All right, I saw that. I sent that picture back, and then the outline didn't have a name on it. So I'll put your name on it when I print it right now. That way I'll know whose it is. Well, Ella did. She took advantage of it. How about the rest of you? Yuri, where's yours? Yeah, you didn't do it. All right, Nazar, what about yours? Not working? Apparently that applies to more than just the video. You just love my jokes, don't you? Cadis, what about you? Where's yours? Don't know? It just disappeared? Somebody ate it? Your little sister, your little brother? I mean, you don't have a little sister, little brother? He ate it? You know what happened to it? You gonna answer? No, you say you didn't do it? Giselle, you didn't do yours? Elizabeth didn't do yours? I mean, you did yours, never mind. Nathan, you did yours. Angelica, you didn't do yours? I see
No.
this is what would have happened if we had done the regular paper. Because you guys would have had things due on a certain date, and you wouldn't have done it. So what I would have normally done on that regular paper is this. For every day it was late, it would have been minus 5% for a maximum of 20% off. So those that haven't turned it in on time, it will be 5% off per day for each day that is turned in late. A maximum of 20%. Of course, you don't turn it at all, it's going to be just a 0. So that's all right. We'll continue on. You'll have other things to keep doing as well. So it's not going to get any easier. And if, for those of you that were able to watch the devotional video, you may not have been able to watch it yet, but if you were able to watch it, then those of you that did watch it, know that you only have 3 weeks of school left. And that Friday, that is, everything is due that Friday. It's due. That's it. You can't turn in things late. You can't turn in that following Monday. You can't send me pictures of it. It's due that Friday. Your parents are supposed to bring it in here to school on that Friday. That's it. No mas. Okay. So I don't know what to tell you. I guess I can send I guess I need to send a picture out to, a reminder out to parents that most everybody hasn't done it, and so that they need to get it turned in, because it's counting as 15% of your grade for language this quarter. Now, aside from that, just this is an aside for those of you that didn't listen to the video and have a tendency not to listen to my videos anyway, because you say you do, but I can't tell who it is and who isn't. Here is a message for you. If you want a yearbook and your parents have not ordered from Pastor Fricks, they have to do it by noon today. If they don't, you won't get one. Now, you can get one later on, but then it's going to cost you an extra $5 to be able to get it, because the shipping for it. So if you want one, you need to order it. Your parents have to order it by noon today. So you need to let them know. If you need to let them know right now so you don't forget, or write it down so you don't forget, that's fine. If you already ordered one, then you're okay. Pastor Fricks hasn't given me the final number yet, but that's what's happening with that. All right, so let's look at then on writing your rough draft, okay? Actually, I already covered that, didn't I? However, go to page 217. So when you write your rough draft, and what you'll do is you write the first rough draft, and then you'll go over it and read it. Generally, what I would do is this. When it's time for us to take our
Okay.
Hi, Ariane. When it's time to take our, when you would normally have written your paper, which, of course, if you're coming back to school next year, you will be doing this. You would be writing your paper. You would be doing it on a certain date, and you get a certain days. But the first time you write your rough draft, then you would just show me that you had written it. The way I do it is this. I take your outline when I see your outline, and from your outline, I'm going to tell you what needs to be corrected in your outline, because you're going to be using your outline primarily to help you write your paper. Now, you'd be adding more information in the when you actually write the rough draft than what's in your outline, because you can't put everything in your outline, but most of it's going to come from your outline. And so this is the way it would work. You write your rough draft. Then you're required to wait 24 hours. And then you go back through and you read your rough draft yourself. And then you make corrections. And so the things that you use are your proofreader marks, and that's what they're showing on page 217. So it says that when Tamika read over her rough draft, she realized that she had quite a job ahead of her. However, her teacher had told her to go through the checklist on page 220 one item at a time. After she did this, the rewriting did not seem nearly as difficult. For some of you, it doesn't matter what I give you. It always seems difficult. But you've got to understand, this is a good process. It helps you as you're going through these things. It says, first, she realized that she had forgotten to put Phil Sweetley's name in the first sentence. Next, she crossed out a sentence which did not belong. Can you tell which sentence does not belong? Well, we're not going to go through that and fit it. But remember, a topic sentence has to have supporting sentences. And so if a sentence doesn't support it, even though it might be a perfectly fine sentence, you're not going to leave it in there because it doesn't support that sentence. Maybe you'll put it somewhere else in the paper. And then it says, since she had carefully thought about the order of her details in her outline, she did not need to switch the order of any of the sentences. All right, that's one of the reasons why I do that as far as getting those parts in there. That's why I do that with the outline, because once you have your outline set well, then you're fine. And then we're on page 217, Ella, in case it looks like we lost you there apparently for a little bit.
Yeah.
So then we're on page 217, and we're on that last paragraph there in page 270. Says, next, she worked on her first sentence and conclusion. Finally, she checked her word choice, sentence beginnings, and sentence length. Her teacher told her that rewriting is the most challenging but rewarding step in the process, and Tamika felt how proud. Now, notice on the side here, it has these proofreader marks. Now, again, we had talked about these before. They're in the back of your book. You have a thing called a, I don't remember what the name of it is, but it's a writing toolbook, kind of handbooks of rules and definitions. And in this, I think it's there. Maybe it's actually somewhere else.
Did you do any homework?
What's that? Okay. Anyway, so in the, I don't remember where it was, but it was basically a proofreader's thing. And so it has all these proofreader marks. And so that little thing, that curly Q that you have there to remove something. So for instance, if you have a letter that needs to be taken out of a word because you misspelled it, or a word itself needs to be taken out, you circle whatever it is, and then you attach this little curly Q to it. In fact, I'll show you on the board here. Let's see, I can share screen. All right, so you've seen me do this before, especially in what do you call it? In penmanship. Okay, so in penmanship, I've done little things. If it would ever come up here, come on, it's taking forever. All right, so in penmanship, I've done things like this, like you have the word. Let's say, oops, I got to turn it on, I guess. Apparently, it works better if I. Oh, it's not text. Okay. Draw. There we go. All right. So if I do the word run, all right, and then this is weird. Okay. This one works differently than the other one. All right, and then I need to take the A out, this letter here out. So I'm gonna circle it first. And so I take my pen, and I would, never mind. I'm just not gonna use this one here. It's not working very well. I will just use a regular whiteboard and show you. All right, so on the regular whiteboard, basically you guys see this. You saw this, or you saw this last week. You should have anyway. Anyway, so I would take a circle, and I would do that little curly cue to show you to take the n out, for instance, okay? And so that's one of the methods, one of the things you have there. The next one you guys have used because, you know, if you have a word that should be capitalized, all right, then you would put the 3 lines under it, okay? Like America, there should be 3 lines under the A because it makes the A capital. All right, and then you have do not capitalized, and that's when you have, for instance, like they have the example there, put a slash through it. You've seen me do LC. Some of you even lose points when you're doing that in the what do you call it, spelling test or something like that, and you capitalize when you're not supposed to, and you lose half a point that way. Then you have the add, the caret, spelled C-A-R-E-T. All right, the caret is like a little arrow, end of an arrow that you place things in. You can do it that way, or you can do it this way. So for instance, if I needed to put something between the R and the E, then you use a caret. You can insert words, you can insert other things as well. And so those are things, proofreading marks that you would use when you're checking your own rough draft. That's what you're going to be doing after you write this rough draft. You're going to check for your mistakes. Go back through and read it. See if you put fragments in there instead of complete sentences. See if you put a run-on or run-together sentence. That's why we cover those things so that you can know what they are. But the problem is this: when you read it, when you write it the first time, sometimes we're writing, we don't think about that. That's why I have you wait a little bit of time to be able to read it the second time so that you can make sure that you've done it properly. You go back and read it, and then you can see, oh, why did I do that? Or, oh, I didn't realize I spelled that incorrectly. Then after you do it, it's okay to have somebody else go ahead and read it also. So when they read it, they might see some things that you wouldn't see, okay? Some things that maybe you missed in your misspellings or something like that. Also, whenever you do rough draft, you notice that in that particular example on page 216, 217, they have skipped lines. Okay, skipping lines is required. Why? Because I require it, because then you can write, you have space in between to put what you need to change. Maybe you want to actually change a sentence around completely. Maybe you forgot to put some information in there. Well, if you have it all just line by line, you're going to have a hard time sticking it in there. So it's easier if you skip lines to do that. So when you do the rough draft, for those of you that have to do the rough draft, you go ahead and do it. Now, for those of you that did do your outlines, I'll get those back to you today. If I've already given it back to you, you can go ahead and do your rough draft. But if you haven't gotten it back yet, I will finish that. Like Ella, I just printed yours now that I know whose name it is. And I think I already graded. I just need to send it back now that I know who it is. But you'll go through and you will then write your rough draft from that, okay, from that outline. Or anything that you didn't add in your outline that you want to add to it, that's fine. You can go ahead and add that as well. All right, so that's what your next thing is. Then once you write the rough draft once, you'll wait 24 hours, read it again, and write your rough draft a second time. That should just be basically to polish it up. Maybe you want to make it sound better. Maybe somebody said, you know, this is kind of vague. And in fact, in this particular process, I will also look at the rough drafts. And I will tell you, this doesn't sound right, or this is a run-together sentence or run-on sentence. But I want you to do it first. So I should see some red marks first. Okay, David, you had your hand up.
So if we did the rough draft already, do we do it again?
No, I'll go ahead and check those. So
But
that
you already
talked
checked
about the
it.
rough draft last week. What's that?
But you already checked it.
Probably. You haven't gotten a picture back for it?
Let me check.
No, I think actually I was waiting to check them until today when I was going to get all those papers that everybody said they were going to send. Remember that?
Maybe.
Yeah. Remember last Friday when I asked everybody and they said they were going to do that? And I said, go ahead, I give you till Monday. All right. Yes, Nathan.
Yeah, you didn't check it either.
Yeah, I will. Like I said, I was waiting to see if those people would turn their stuff in so that we could do it together. But then I'll go ahead and check it and I'll send it back to you. Yes, Nathan.
why do we have to wait 24 hours?
Because if you do it right after you've written it, you're not going to catch those mistakes. If you've ever gone back and looked at something that you've written at the beginning of the year, go back and look at one of the first things you wrote in your composition book and see how you wrote it. You will notice mistakes, big time mistakes that you never realized that you had before. Okay, and I'm not talking about the one that I graded. I'm talking about the ones that you guys wrote the first time. If you just look at that, you'll see some, the way you wrote, the things you understood back then were a lot different. And so waiting 24 hours always gives you the ability to see things that you wouldn't normally see if you just write it and write it again right away. Okay? Alina.
Do you have my?
Three things. Those are the lessons and then the math test. And it goes with this. But that's fine if you want to do them. Probably the math tests are easiest, but. All right, go ahead, Lena. I'm sorry.
Do you have my notes and outline?
Let me check real quick. I have stacks of stuff here, so. You sent me yours on the Skype, right?
No, on messages.
On messages? Okay, I'm still looking. Hold on. I got a whole bunch of papers and I just stacked them on my desk, so I'm having to dig through everything. Oh, and I noticed that you sent the Bubba reading guide also, Alina. Did you, is this for those 3 days? Oh, I see now. Okay, I got it. It on the picture I could see it was different, but that's okay. All right, let me okay. Yeah, did you I sent you a message back, Alina. You sent me the notes for her, but you were supposed to do it in a column format, just like we had done. And I explained it to you. I said, not correctly done. Remember, we had 3 columns according to the 3 sections of the outline we had looked at: early life, achievements, and later life. You were supposed to write all the notes you could find for each of those sections. Do you remember when we did it on that Friday?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you're supposed to do it in that format.
Okay.
So that's what I had sent the message back to you pretty much right after you had sent it to me. So yeah, so that's where I'm waiting for from you still. Okay, Nathan, yes.
Did you already say what the assignment was? Or
Not yet. We're not done yet.
oh, okay.
For today, yeah, we're not done. I just wanted to make sure everybody's clear on that part so far, because that assignment's supposed to be done already, pretty much. We were supposed to finish it last week. It's just that some people decided that they weren't going to. Let's go to what we had started on page number 240. I think it was 46. Yeah, 245 and 246. I think we did 245 together. And then 246 is what you were supposed to finish up. Let's go to the very bottom. We'll do the remember B first. Who has not done it? Because I'm getting ready to ask you to show it to me anyway, so. 246 is what we're talking about. All right, so David, let me see yours. I can look at it. No, don't show it to me till I ask you, please. I'm not going to be able to see it. I'm not going to be able to look at it in video. Okay, David. All right, Tejas, let me see yours. I see. Who's Gigi? Again,
Me.
people keep doing that. Please don't change your name unless, at least put your name with it. That way I'll know.
Okay.
All right, did you have a question?
No.
It says you raised your hand. That's why I was asking. How about you, Angelica? It says you raised your hand.
I didn't do it.
You didn't raise your hand. Oh, you didn't do the assignment? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Why? I know. Wait a minute. The answer is I don't know, right?
No.
Oh, okay. What's the answer?
So I wasn't at home.
Why not? You're supposed to stay at home.
Yeah, I know, but
Your parents kicked you out again?
no.
Oh,
There was a party, but it was we were 6 feet, so
oh, I'm sure. Yes, of
Mm.
course you were. Anyway, so there was a party all weekend and all last week.
no.
So when was this party?
Yesterday,
Yesterday? Okay. And what about Saturday? And what about Friday when you were supposed to do the work originally Friday?
I was at home.
Yeah. Okay. So you just didn't do it. Okay. All right. So let me see yours, Giselle. All right. And then Elizabeth. All right. Nathan. All right. Yuri. All right. And then Alina. And Ella, I saw you sneak yours in there, so. All right, so Angelica, I need that today, okay? So show it to me today. Get it done and show it to me. All right, so at the very bottom, remember B, the answers are in this order, AAABB. AAABB. Now, any questions about any of those as to why? Who missed any? Which one did you miss, Giselle? All right, let me do it this way. How many of you missed number 1? Because you underlined the USS, remember that part on a ship does not get underlined, okay? The US ship is not a part of the ship's name. It's just telling you that where it's from, all right? How about number 2? Who missed that one? Nobody? Okay, I didn't think you would. How about number 3? Okay. Reader's Digest is a name of a magazine. So if you don't know, by the way, if you ever don't know something, especially on a test or a quiz, look, if you have to text me and ask me, come and text me and ask me, because you need to know what they are sometimes. And I realize you guys don't know necessarily what Reader's Digest is, but it is a magazine, so that would be underlined. How about number 4? Okay, so you again, Pilgrim's Progress. Now you should know that one, Tejas. You know why? We did that in reading. Well, some of us did anyway. I'm not sure if you did or not, but we did that in reading not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago. We did Pilgrim's Progress as part of your reading assignment, okay? So that is a book, and then the book of Genesis does not. Remember, any book in the Bible does not get underlined, if you missed that one. All right, so at the top, we did, oh, that was all you had to do was remember B, because we did the one at the top together. Okay, so on page 247, now, they give you, well, we'll go ahead and do these together. A tea kettle. You know, Giselle already? Go ahead. What does a tea kettle do? You said it dub, 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 dub?
It. Rustle.
Rustle? No, it doesn't rustle. David?
Whistle?
It whistles. Yes, it whistles. Okay, the tea kettle whistles. Now, what kind of a sound do you think? Go ahead and cross that one off. That way you can eliminate some of the other ones. What kind of a sound does a drop book make? Okay, Tejas? Microphone?
Thud.
Yeah, kind of like when you drop your brother or sister on the floor. Thud, okay? That's kind of a neat sound in a sense. Or in Yuri's case, a cousin, right? In Yuri's case, a cousin, that's when you drop your cousin on the floor. That's what it sounds like. I don't think you could pick up your sisters.
Which one?
Either one of them.
I can pick up both of them at the same time.
Sisters?
No, not sister.
No, that's what I
Cousins.
said. I was saying I don't think you can pick up your sisters. So
I
Okay.
can.
both of them at the same time.
You got the T.
Not
Hey,
at
can
the
you-
same time.
Can you pick them up and drop them
Well, yeah.
without them fighting back and hurting you, clawing you,
No.
scratching your eyeballs out, that type of thing? No, I didn't think so.
No.
Okay. All right. How about the rooster? What does a rooster do, Giselle?
A rooster playing.
Come on, girl. If you don't know, don't raise your hand yet. You're just guessing. No, think about it. What does a rooster do? Okay, Elizabeth. What did you say? Crow. Yes, crow. Okay, that's. Did you say crow at first? Yeah, it's crow. A rooster crows. You know, drives me crazy because they'll do it at like 1 o'clock in the morning too. All right. How about number 4? What does frying bacon in a pan do? Nathan?
Sizzle.
Yes, it sizzles. When something's hot like that, it sizzles. So how about a car's motor? Depending on what kind of car you have, I guess, but most cars that are fairly new know what this will do what this one does. Ella, you have an idea? Or Alina? What do you think, David?
Rumble.
No, not a rumble, really. I mean, unless it's in bad shape, but otherwise, go ahead, Elizabeth. What did you say, Elizabeth? Not the whir, although that's not a bad choice, but there's another one that works better for whir. Okay, go ahead. You have another one?
Creak.
No. Not the creak. It wouldn't creak. Hopefully it wouldn't creak. Yes, go ahead, Nathan.
Hum.
Yeah, the hum of a motor. The hum of a motor. It hums. It sort of has that steady sound. Okay. How about silk skirt? What kind of a sound does that make? If you know silk, when it rubs against itself or against something else, it sort of makes a sound. What do you think, Nathan?
Swish.
Yes, the swish. He knows the sound of a swish from basketball, right?
Swish.
Yeah.
All right. Or at least the bounce of off the rim. You know that one? When you miss
Yeah.
a shot. Not as often. You don't know that one as often?
Yeah, maybe I do sometimes.
Maybe you do? Okay. How about dry leaves? This one is one that somebody had mentioned before. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Rustle.
Yeah, that's the rustle of dry leaves. That's the sound of them when they're blowing across the ground, when they're all dry and hard. That's what the rustle sound is. This one you probably have heard before, even in real life, of course. Angelica, Ella, why don't you guys turn your microphones on and Lena and join us here.
The blink of a flowing brook.
The clang you said? Clang?
No. What's a flowing brook?
Flowing brook. A brook would be like a creek. And
Oh,
it's one where the water's flowing down. Ella, you have an idea? I saw your microphone make a sound. Don't you have a creek at your house, Ella?
no.
Oh. How about you, Alina? You have a creek at your house?
No.
Near your house? Nathan,
No.
what are you doing besides being annoying? Okay, go ahead, Angelica. What do you think?
I don't know what page are we on because I wasn't here.
Yeah, 247.
I
We're on
had-
247. We're doing these sounds together, the right word sounds.
Oh.
Do you have one? Go ahead. Gigi, go ahead. Oh, you don't? Elizabeth, go ahead.
Um,
Do you have one, Elizabeth, or no?
creak.
I couldn't hear you.
Creak.
It's sort of skipping in and out. So can you do it again? Yeah, still can't get it. Nathan, go ahead.
Gurgle.
Yeah, the gurgle of a flowing brook. Gurgle. You know when you guys make that gurgle sound when you're, you that's sort of the idea. Except it sounds a lot better in a creek, that's for sure. How about number 9? Now, Alina, Angelica, and Ella, you should get this one. You've heard, yes, the rumble of thunder, of distant thunder. It's a great sound. I love that sound. Always gets my heart going. How about, and this one you guys probably heard the other night because it was raining pretty hard. So it says the blank of rain on a window. Okay, besides Nathan, let's give a couple of pages. What do you think? Yuri, what do you think? The blank of rain on a window. So if you've crossed off the other ones, okay, David, go ahead.
Patter?
Yeah, the patter of rain on a window. And some people, if you ever have like little kids that are, toddlers, 1, 2, 3 years old, the patter of little feet, pitter patter of little feet, just a. All right, Yuri, go ahead. You want to do next one?
No, I'm asking what was number 9.
Rumble.
Did we already do rumble?
I'm sorry?
Did we already do rumble?
Nathan, stop. It's very loud. That must be right where your microphone is. So, all right. What'd you say, Yuri?
Then what was number 7?
7 was Russell.
Oh.
Oh. All right. So, Alina, try number 11.
Click?
Yeah, the click of a key in a lock. When it turns and then it unlocks. Okay, how about a sparrow? I was walking to work this morning and some sparrows were around and they were doing this to me because I was walking too close to their nest apparently or something, or they just didn't like that I was interrupting their snacks of ants and crumbs. Yes, David. Harry the platypus, go ahead.
Twitter.
What did you say?
Twitter.
Yes, the Twitter. You guys heard of Twitter before, right? The app. Okay, so Twitter, what do they call it when it happens? It's when somebody sends something on Twitter, what do they call it? Tweet. Yeah, they call it a tweet. So that's because, and that's why the little symbol is a bird. All right, so how about a dinner bell? Angelica, what do you think about this one? This one should be pretty easy. Out of the 8 words you have left there. Well, let me tell you which ones are gone already, okay? So you can cross off whistle, thud, crow, sizzle, hum, swish, rustle, gurgle, rumble, patter, click, and Twitter. So that leaves you only 8 left. So
Tinkle.
Not of a big bell like that. A dinner bell would be a larger one. So try a different one that would.
Ping.
A ping? No.
Jingle.
What was the last one you said?
Jingle.
Well, you've picked every other kind of sound besides that one. All right, Alina, how about you? Alina. So what do you think? Big bell. They have a name for the thing that for when you do this, if you were gonna ring the bell. What do you think, Elizabeth?
A thud.
Not a thud. We already did thud. So, Pages?
Clang?
Yeah, the clang of a bell, of a dinner bell. The clang. You're thinking more of a bigger bell. Although some of those other sounds you might get that sound depending on the size of the bell. How about number 14? The blank of a bullet hitting rock. If you've ever been driving down the road and it hits the windshield. All right, Nathan. Microphone. Yeah. Oh, your microphone didn't come on. Although I think what you're saying is correct. Ping.
Ping? Yeah.
Yeah, the ping of a bullet hitting rock. Aren't you glad for windshields when you're driving down the road at 60 miles an hour or 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, however fast some of you go? All right. How about the next one? You throw a pebble into a puddle. Tejas?
Plop.
Yeah, the plop of a pebble. And then how about coins in a pocket? This is one of the ones that you said, Angelica. The coins in a pocket, and you're just kind of moving around in your pocket. What sound does it make? Keys would do the same thing.
Equal.
Yeah, the jingle of it. Very good. How about, this is the one that somebody thought about for the car's motor. Alina, the number 17, the blank of a propeller.
Or
Yeah, the whir of a propeller. This one everybody should know. The blank of an insect.
Buzz.
Buzz, that's right. And then you have two things left. So which one do you think fits for a rusty hinge door and which one for a wind chime? What do you think, Giselle? Which one do you think fits for a rusty door hinge? Creak or a tinkle? A creak would be more like, would that fit for a door or for a wind chime?
Door.
Yeah, a door for creak, and then a wind chime is a tinkle. Although that is a word used for sometimes when somebody has to go to the bathroom. So, but that doesn't mean the same thing. All right. So look at the next word. Now we're talking about antonyms, opposite words, opposite words. Okay? So antonyms are an opposite choice. David, why don't you read that for us if you don't mind? Can platypuses read? Okay, go ahead.
It is often helpful to know a word which has the opposite meaning of another word. You cannot understand directions if you did not know that left is the opposite of right and north is the opposite of south.
Now, the truth is that some of you don't know that north is the opposite of south, but we'll assume that you do know that, and that right and left. Of course, some of you don't know which one is your right and which one is your left. Everybody raise your right hand. Do you hear me, Yuri? I said everybody raise your right hand. Okay. Angelica, I can't see any hand. Where's your head? Just out of curiosity. That is not your right hand, girl.
Oh. Oh.
Now, unless you're actually if you're using your phone, sometimes they actually show you everything backwards. So that's possible. All right. And same thing, Ella, are you using your phone where everything's backwards? So this is your, okay, that's why. All right. So it looks like, all right. So let's see. Tejas, continue in that next paragraph.
A knowledge of antonyms will help you explain things clearly. For example, your teacher could show the meaning of parsimonious.
Oh, yes, except that's not the word. Parsimonious. Go ahead.
By telling you that it is the same as stingy or the opposite.
No, it's not stingy. Stingy.
As stingy or the opposite of generous.
Okay, so there you go. So the antonym for parsimonious would be generous. The stingy is the synonym for it. Okay, and you guys know what stingy is, right? What would be another one besides parsimonious, which I'm sure you guys use all the time? Besides stingy, what would be another word for stingy? Go ahead, Nathan, with your microphone. Yeah.
Stubborn.
Not really, because stingy has more to do with things. Go ahead.
Annoying. Mean. Rude.
Not really. Yuri, were you going to say one or no?
Impolite.
Well, it can be impolite, but that's not really what the meaning is. Stingy is more like when you are trying to, you are a miser. Somebody who is stingy means they don't like to part with things or money. They're stingy. They don't want to share, okay? That would be the thing. That's why generous is the opposite of it. Because when you're generous, you want to give things away, or you want to give money away. You want to help some people. You're willing to share things. That's the idea. All right, so it says antonyms are words of opposite meaning. Now, let's do this. David,
Yes.
number 1. Tejas, number 2. Giselle, number 3. Elizabeth, number 4. Nathan, number 5. Yuri, number 6. Alina, number 7. Ella, number 8. And Angelica, number 9. So go ahead and think, which word do you think is the opposite of the word that is there? I think David got an easy one. Well, platypi need easy ones. I don't know, is platypi the plural of platypus? Platypuses, I guess. I don't know. Probably platypuses. All right, so David, what do you think is the opposite of polite on that list?
Rude.
Rude. So you can cross rude out and put rude in the blank there. All right. Tejas. How about
Slow.
quick? Is the opposite is slow, definitely. So cross slow out. All right. Giselle. What's the opposite of whisper? Scream, absolutely. Yeah, you know, if you're not whispering, you're screaming or talking way loudly. All right, Elizabeth, for narrow. Now, do you know what narrow means, Elizabeth? Your face froze, so I can't tell if you're actually saying something or not. So, do you know what narrow means, Elizabeth?
Does she hear us?
I don't know. Can you hear me? What was that? You have to get closer to your microphone because it's not picking up completely.
Straight.
No, narrow means, narrow does sort of mean straight, but you're looking for the opposite. So narrow is like this, Elizabeth. This would be narrow. So something that's really close together. Okay? So what would be the opposite of that?
Wide.
Yeah, wide would be the right one. So cross out wide, put that in the blank. Okay, Nathan, for number 5, sick. Opposite of sick is?
Healthy.
Healthy, absolutely. Cross that one out. Yuri, instead of somebody being proud, they are humble. Very good. All right, Alina, instead of somebody who is, or something that's curly, it is what?
Straight.
Straight. You know, when in the 1980s, everybody wanted curly hair. They used to get things called permanents, where they would actually go to the hairdresser and they would get little curlers in their hair and use chemicals to make it curl. And then now it's the opposite. Everybody wants straight hair. But go ahead, Ella, for number 8. Instead of talkative, this one's a little bit more difficult.
I cannot figure it out.
Okay, can anybody help her? Go ahead, Tejas, what do you think?
Mute.
Mute, yes. Mute means you're not talkative. You are not able to talk. A mute person is somebody who can't talk. All right, Angelica, number 9, safety.
Peril.
Yeah, peril is the opposite of safety. You're in peril. You are in danger. So now you crossed out all those. I'll let you guys on your own do 9 through 15. And then let's look at 249. I love little poems that they have. This is a nice little poem here. So follow along as I read it. Black and white, yes and no. How many opposites do you know? Proud and humble, short and long, ill and healthy, right and wrong, good and bad, sick and well. So many opposites for me to tell. Rich and poor, new and old, messy and neat, hot and cold, wet and dry, sour, sweet and sour. Shall I continue? This could take an hour. Bold and shy, far and near, off and on, there and here, back and forth, up and down. Opposites are countless. Just look around. Boy and girl, light and dark, high and low, drive and park. Big and little, in and out, opposites abound, simply look about. Brave and cowardly, laugh and cry, sow and reap, live and die. Round and square, ceiling and floor. I must stop now, but do you know more? You probably know more opposites than you realize. But on page number 250, all right, it wants you to write an opposite. Well, we're going to look at the top there. It says homonyms get the right one, O-N-E, okay? And so a homonym is using words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently and have different meanings. So they give you an example here. You and you. You know, how many of you know what, everybody knows what Y-O-U is, right? That would be you, okay? You. Or like Uncle Sam, I want you to do your homework. Okay. Then you have the other you. How many knows what the other you is? You think you know, Nathan? Go ahead.
I don't think I know.
Well, you can guess if you want. We don't mind laughing at you for it.
The letter U.
No, that's different. You're right. That does sound the same, but it's not the letter. They may know that this is a female sheep.
What?
E-W-E is a female sheep. So they sound the same, you and you, but it's obviously means two different things. Unless you are a female sheep. How many of you are female sheep? None of you are female sheep? Okay. All right. And then you have because B-E, E, and B. So which one would you choose for that first word to finish the sentence correctly? Which you must really... Yuri has a black eye.
Mhm.
Which you is it? The first one or the second one we would choose for that sentence? Okay, Alina, which one?
First one.
Yeah, the first one. So you must really, and then which B would we use? The one that buzzes around, which is the first one, or the one that is the verb? Go ahead, Alina.
The second one.
Yeah, the second one. You must be on your T-O-E-S or T-O-W-S, Nathan?
Still doing it.
Hold on. All right, go ahead again. I had to
What
mute
page are we
pages.
on?
We're on page 250. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, we're on 250 at the top there. On the very blue section at the top. We're
Oh,
kind
I
of
thought we were on the on the bottom.
No. You won't be doing B and C today. You'll be just doing A. But anyway, so what do you have for? It says B on your. It says you Y-O-U must be E on your. Which one? T-O-E-S or T-O-W-S? Yeah, go ahead, Nathan. I'm waiting for you, actually.
S.
T-O-E-S, right? Is that what you said? Okay, so yeah, you must be on your toes. If you would write well. What do you think, Giselle? Which would is it? W-O-O-D or W-O-U-L-D? Which one? Yes.
W-O-U.
Yes. W-O-U-L-D is which one it would be. And then would, and then write. Which write is it to write well? Hey, go ahead, Giselle. You can do that one too.
W-R-I-T-E.
Very good. Yes. So that's what it is. You've got to be able to be on your toes to write well. And some of the most common mistakes I find is with the word T-H-E-I-R, T-H-E-R-E, and T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. That is the one that is most commonly misspelled. Okay, that and also T-O and T-O-O and T-W-O, although it's usually T-O and T-O-O that are confused. All right, so it says homonyms are words that sound alike or nearly alike but have different spellings and meanings. So the doctor lost his patience, which means he lost his temper, or the doctor lost his patience, which means he lost the means by which he was going to make money. Okay, those people that come in to get treatment, patients. All right, so your job for we'll do a few of these together. For number 1, instead of O-U-R, hour, what would be the other hour? What do you think, Ella? How would you spell it?
H-O-U-R.
Yeah, H-O-U-R would be the other one there. Is there another one that you guys can think of? I don't think so. But I'm almost done. I'm in class still. All right, and then for number 2, your. I already gave you these. What were they? Yuri, give me one of the other ones. There are 2 different ones here. Actually, there's only one other one here. Go ahead, David.
Y-O-U-R-E.
Correct. Y-O-U-R-E. So that's the other homonym for this one. How about tide, Nathan? Microphone?
T-I-E-D.
That's already there.
Oh. Oh, no, I mean T-I-D-E. I meant.
Yeah, T-I-D-E, which would be like this one. This tide that's here is like the tying your shoe. It's already tied. The other tide is like the ocean when the tide comes in. And then we'll do one more. This is the one I gave you. Ella, give me one of the T-H-E-R-E ones.
T-H-E-I-R.
Okay, and then Angelica, give me the other one for there. Microphone. Remember we had we had T-H-E-R-E and T-H-E-I-R. Now what's the other there? What's that?
T-H apostrophe R-E.
Yeah, well, it's T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. So like they are. So that would be the other there. All right, so that is your assignment then. You're going to finish page 248 and 250. Write it in your book, please. All right, Angelica, don't forget to send me that page that you, the assignment from yesterday, from Friday that you're supposed to do. Nathan, you have a question? A microphone again.
So we do all of 250?
No, just think A. Just think A on 250. Okay, we'll do B and C tomorrow. All right, any other questions? All right. That's it. Then we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Make sure you get your work done. Bye.